Okay, for this video, we're going to do a paint pull, not a paint pour. And I found some petals from the Dollar Tree store. These are just rose petals, and they're very thin, fabric-like, petal-shaped, yeah, roses. So I'm going to experiment and do a paint pull with these. So I've got my colors. I've got red, I've got pink, and I've got white. So I'm gonna just pour this on a plate and just kind of get these different colors. That we're gonna use. And we'll stop there. We'll just keep it a little simple for now. And I have my petals on a clothespin, and we're just going to pull this through, let it kind of saturate. Maybe use them together to coat. I'm just going to lay them off to the side so that they can drip a little bit more. And we'll just keep going. I'm going to add a little bit more pink and a little bit more red to keep the vibrancy. Oh, that's a pretty one. Oops, lost that one. We can add a little more, easier to roll through. Pretty. And we'll just keep going with that. All right, once you have them all clipped, you want to pick up and dump back in to the mixture and try to coat the back side. Now you can use the clothespins to do that. So I'm turning these now to the side so they can drain a little bit more sideways. There's a little bit more airspace going around. And it's going to help drain the petals too. And they'll also dry a little faster. All right, so just turn it so that they're kind of sideways. We're not laying down so much. I have let them dry overnight, about 24 hours. I probably let them dry a little too much so they kind of get stuck. You can probably just pull these out and just kind of get them off that way. You might also be able to clamp them off, although sometimes it breaks, and you could use a spoon or something to leverage them so they come out. Again, I let these dry too much, so they kind of cemented to the clothespin. But yeah, just go through. Now we have a pile of our petals, and we're going to take a shot glass. This is a plastic shot glass, and I'm going to put in the petals and arrange them so you can see how they kind of go in. And I do have my hot glue gun prepared. I am going to glue these together and arrange the rows that way by folding over, so you kind of get the gist. But this isn't going to work right now. We need to glue these in. So now that I have my hot glue ready, I can start doing that. I do have a popsicle stick that I can use as an extra finger so I won't burn myself. But you just want to add a little bit of hot glue, and you just want to kind of overlap these and layer them inside this little plastic shot glass. And I'm just resting them in there. I'm not really setting them in. I just want to arrange them so that they don't fall out. And then I'm going to fold it over. And then I can start another ring of petals and just keep layering these in. Okay, so put it in the cup, give it a little bit more hot glue, fold it over. Now I'm going to take my popsicle stick and use this to kind of bend it over so it cements and it doesn't burn you. And it takes a little getting started, but after a while it becomes a little easier once you get the first ring or two of petals. And you just want to keep doing this. Just keep layering. And don't forget to fold over. And you just want to continue doing this. process is pretty simple. And then let it cure. Okay, I've let it cool. I'm going to turn it over and I've got a roast. I think we could pull out some of these leaves or petals to create a little bit more dimension. It's just opening. Okay, this is part one. Part two. Taking a small 5x7 canvas board, and I have blue. I'm going to mix with a little bit of white to create a sky blue. And I want to take this color and go across my canvas board, just creating a light blue sky. And I do want to have full coverage for this. You can mix more if you need more, just a little white, a little bit of blue. We're going to be painting clouds in this, so it's okay if it has some color variations. We just want to get the background painted. And I'm just smoothing out any kind of raised bumps of paint. And just making sure I have pretty good coverage. Nice zen horizontal brush strokes. And then we just want to let this dry. So I'm pulling this off the paper towel so it doesn't stick to it and just moving it. And we're just going to let it dry. Now that it's dry, we can pick it up and we could start painting in our clouds. I have white and a little bit of hot pink, and I have a little makeup puff and a makeup brush. We're going to use these as the tools. I'm going to dip this into the white, and we're going to use the makeup pad or sponge to kind of build up our cloud. So I'm building up the shape. Nice poofy little clouds starting from the upper left-hand corner. And I'm just adding some little poof to it, letting some of the paint diffuse so that it ends up kind of merging with the background sky. And I'm just going to add a little bit more to the top to give it some more puffy feel. And just keep going. We can go back over if we need to with a little bit more white if it feels a little too diffused. But we're just building our base of puffy white little clouds. Now we can go on to a whole nother layer of clouds right underneath, letting some of the sky still be exposed. And I'm just blotting this. I'm just tapping it, just like you would makeup. And we're just going to keep applying a bit more white. And we can add our third layer or third batch of clouds. And you could do any shape that you want. It doesn't have to look like this. You could do smaller, puffier ones. You could do Simpson clouds. You could do no clouds. You could do streaky clouds. It's really up to you. But I just have 3 stacked clouds in the sky. And then I'm going to be adding eventually a little bit of pink, maybe a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of kind of purple. I have my makeup brush, and I'm just going to use this to kind of blend out. This is dry, so this really just kind of takes the paint and softens it up so that it just has cloud-like fluffiness to it that's really diffused and kind of has that vaporized feel to it. And I'm just softening it up. Now I could take my makeup brush or makeup pad or sponge and add a little bit more white just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. Might have diffused too much with the makeup brush. And I'm just adding just a tiny little bit more. And you can go back into the brush. You just want to work this so that it gets to a place where you're like, ooh, I like that. So just soften. Adding another layer of paint is going to make it stick a little bit more, just make it a little bit more solid. Just diffusing. Now I'm going to take my makeup sponge and add a little bit of purple and white. I'm just going to give it a little highlight of purple and white. I'm just adding another dimension to the clouds. Just incorporating a little bit of color. And it could be here and there. It doesn't have to be every little area of nook and cranny. Just a little tiny highlight. And I'm just softening it up a little bit more. Adding it to another layer of clouds. I'm going to kind of blot this off and incorporate a little bit of pink and white and do the same thing. And just add a little poof of color here and there. Blotting it off before I actually add it to the canvas. And it may blend with the previous color, and that's fine. Just a little tiny bit of a highlight of different color. And I'm going to take the makeup brush and just soften it up a little, just diffuse it into the cloud. And we'll add maybe a little bit more white with yellow. Just incorporate a little bit of warmth. And add a little layer of this as well. Not everywhere. Just mostly on the white poofy top parts, like the sun just caught it. And of course, we're going to diffuse this out a little. Ever so slightly. And take our makeup brush and let it kind of blend in. And we just want to keep working it, maybe add some more white to really make it pop, make it feel like it's a cloud. Of course, this can be an abstract. This doesn't have to be clouds. It can literally be anything you want. This is your project, your creation. If you follow along, feel free to modify. But sometimes when you paint, you just really have to work your backgrounds and just get to a place where you're like, I like it. And then once we feel that we're done, we're going to just let this dry a little bit. So just let it sit and dry. So I took an extra petal and set it aside. I'm going to cut it into a little heart. So I'm just going to take a little increase in the middle and just create out a heart shape with the natural part of the petal. So it's just a little area that you just want to cut out and just say, that's a heart. And you might want to trim up some sides just to really kind of make sure that shape is how you want it. Okay, so I have cut out the heart, the shape of the heart, and now I'm going to take a paint pen and I'm going to write the word love in it. So I'm going to kind of take this off to the side and just write the word love. Because the world needs more love in it, right? So I have my hot glue and I've got my elements all configured. So I'm going to add some hot glue to the bottom of my rose and I'm going to glue it to the canvas. You can also check out my paint pour. You can use that as the background too. I'll link the video later. But I'm just going to go ahead and kind of bunch everything together and kind of push it so it sits. And here's the final product. You can make this a ring holder or a catch-all for jewelry. So you can add a little frame to capture it all in, but a little pen, you can add a necklace, and it could just be a nightside catch-all. And here it is framed. So it's just a nice little quick project. It would be great for gifts, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, or you know what, just something for yourself. Just a fun little project where you could just play, explore with your creative skills, and also make it useful.